While preparing for today's sermon, I stumbled, actually, several times over the sentence, "Sorry, preacher, but this week's sermon text is one of the hardest." And reading it or hearing it, as you did right now, you probably agree it's gruesome. It's confusing. There's talk of exorcisms. Jesus is saying hard things, outrageous or logically incoherent. Salt that lost its saltiness? That's just not possible. Salt is a rock. It doesn't lose its saltiness. But why is this supposed to be a hard text to preach on? I thought a lot about it and come to the conclusion it's not hard because it's confusing. When Jesus says weird things that don't seem to make a lot of sense, that's usually a very good marker to dive deeper, to do some research, go into language, into history, look at commentaries. And that takes time, sure, but it's not hard. No, I think it's hard because the message is an unpopular one that people, you, don't want to hear. And that in consequence, I, the preacher, don't want to preach. Because I like it when you like what I say. Jesus' speech is triggered by John saying to him, "Teacher, we saw someone casting out demons in your name, and we tried to stop him because he was not following us." I can really picture John confidently walking up towards Jesus and saying, "Hey, boss, just that you know, there was another guy pretending to work for you, but we took care of it. No worries. We told him to stop and get lost." And Jesus' face goes blank. It's like, you still don't get it, do you? Even if I don't know this person by name, even if I haven't met him, even if I haven't talked to him, casting out demons from sick people, that's a good thing. Doing it in my name, even better. Why would you stop him? Well, maybe it's because just a few verses prior in the text, the disciples failed to cast out a demon, and Jesus had to come and do it. But Jesus doesn't say that out loud. Instead, he says, "Doing a deed of power in my name transforms the doer. The person will not be able to speak evil of me, because whoever is not against us is for us." And then Jesus gets started and gives them a shockingly detailed prospect of what happens if you put a stumbling block in front of these little ones or themselves. If you hinder others in following me, it is better for you to hang a millstone around your neck and drown in the sea. Or if your hand or your foot or your eye causes you to stumble over yourself in your faith journey, better get rid of them. Because in the end, you might have an unscathed body, but what about your soul? What about your faith? Jesus paints a drastic picture, and summed up, it means death. According to Jewish teachings at that time, death, as the opposite of life, meant the absence of God, a godless place. So if you hinder others to live their faith and nurture their connection to God, you force them on a path that leads into a godless place. And if you hinder yourself, you'll end up there too. Maybe with an unmaimed body, but not with an unscathed soul. The place you could end up was called Gehenna, a valley used as a garbage dumpster close to Jerusalem, and a place where a couple of centuries earlier, forbidden human sacrifices had happened. Gehenna came to mean hell, as the place of eternal punishment and suffering. But actually, Jesus is not calling on his disciples to mutilate themselves. He is trying to get their attention. Get your priorities right now. It's time. Because his notion about his own imminent death has just been confirmed. He was just up the mountain for the transfiguration, and now he's on his way to Jerusalem to face his own fate. So he's saying there's not much time left. And the disciples really need to understand. But I'm not sure he was successful, though. I honestly think he might have confused them even more with his speech. And now we come to the hard part of the sermon, the part you don't want to hear. Look around you. Look around you in your pew and see who is sitting here. And then think about the people, all the different kinds of people in the world who are not sitting here. Are they not here because they don't want to be? Or are they not here because we put stumbling blocks on their way to church? Actually, I don't think we're doing better or worse than the disciples that knew Jesus. Whoever is not against us is for us. We still don't do it well. Whoever isn't for us is against us. That comes more naturally. Maybe that's just human. That's just our reality. We're quick to judge. We like to feel superior, feel schadenfreude about someone's failure or struggle. We compare. We like to keep to ourselves because then we don't have to deal with too many inconvenient questions or reflections. We like to feel reassured in what we do. And we also like to keep things easy, socially, culturally, politically, institutionally, theologically. The less we differ, the less we have to explain. The more united and the stronger we are, right? In a congregation, in a neighborhood, at work. But we are also able to learn, and we are able to love and to have faith. So there's room for improvement and for hope. Because Jesus challenges us to leave our comfort zone and to love like he loved, without boundaries. Namely, whoever is not against us, and even those. Jesus excludes no one from God's love. Whoever doesn't oppose the beautiful and salvific works of God, mercy, love, kindness, justice, liberation, peacemaking, healing, nurturing, whoever does that is on Jesus' side. And our work is to welcome them, host them, include them, and love them. So, whom do we not have here in our midst? And why? And what stumbling blocks do we have to remove to welcome them? Jesus excludes no one from God's love. And there is enough of God's love to share with everyone. Amen.